Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Oh, yes, this is the best show you can find on television.
So I like the idea
Television.
that you, sorry, so television, it's usually referred to as TV, so it's shortened as,
Like Twitch.tv?
yeah, actually that's where they got the dot TV from. Anyway,
So they
so
stole it from Twitch. Gotcha. Okay.
you know what?
No, see, sure.
Sorry, my generation doesn't have cable, so.
Oh, by the way, I work with, before I go back to the thing I was supposed to say about the show, we were talking about boomers that we work with earlier, Rena. I work with such boomers that today, by sheer coincidence today, I happen to work with a woman who is 35, so about a year older than me, and a woman who is 37, so about 3 years older than me. And both of them were like, well, you know, millennials, because I'm not a millennial, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa, hold on. 82 and 84? You're both millennials. Like, no. I'm like, no, you're millennials. If you want to show hate to the younger generation, you talk about the Zoomers. What's that? The Gen Z people, like the next generation down. Yeah, them. They're awful, aren't they? And I was like, yeah.
We're the worst, I guess.
It was so funny. Like, I did not grow up like a millennial because my parents were strict. Like, okay.
Wow, parents, strict parents? What?
Like,
Concept.
That must have been
okay.
hard for you.
Listen. It was just. It's like, oh boy, I work with so many boomers that the millennials pretend to be boomers. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh. Anyways. And you hear that? They're older than me, and they're millennials. So you remember that, okay? I am not a boomer. Can I tell you guys one more funny, embarrassing story? I shouldn't share this. I should die in the one Patreon session that it took place in, and never bring it up. I have to. So a few weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was playing a Patreon session with actually my brother Eric was in it. And Ashen Phoenix, which is about my age. I don't remember his actual age, but about my age. And you guys might remember Hunter. It's Hunter and Wolf 777 or 7X or whatever. I don't know. The new name is Noose Moose on Discord. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, Hunter, congratulations to him. Graduated from high school recently. He was 18. Anyways, we're having a conversation about something, and he goes
Don't share your ages in chat. It's against TOS.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I'm just telling that to your chat since you're talking about ages right now.
Oh, okay. Wait, they can't tell their own ages?
Correct. It's a safety thing. Yeah, there's a lot of different reasons behind it, but that's.
So I can't say my age. I can say it on.
You can
on
say it on stream,
but not in chat.
Correct.
So I typed in chat. I'm 34 years old.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Welcome to America. Moving on. So okay. Moving on. So we were talking about something, and then he brought something up. We were talking about AD&D, and we are like having like a moment where Eric and I grew up with that stuff, and obviously, like I said, Ash is about my age, but D&D very young as well. So also, he's like, wow, look at those books. You guys are old. And I was like, not that old, man. He's like, well, he brought up something from like the early 80s or like the late 70s. I was like, how old do you think I am? He's got to know about as old as my parents. I was like, how old are your parents? He goes, 55. I was like, ah! 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 I was like, my parents are 57. Like, come on. What's the matter with you? I was like, your parents are the same age as my parents. What is the matter with you? I was like, ah! Like, no.
My parents are older than Scott's parents.
Like, well, my biological father is 61, I believe, and my stepdad is 57, I believe, and my mom is 59, I believe. So I just grabbed the youngest to make a point. But, you know, either way. Oh, how old are your parents?
My dad is 64. My
there you
mom would have been 64 this year as well.
There you go. So older, like you said. Anyways, God, listen, okay? He legit called me a boomer, like an actual boomer. Like he thought I was in my 50s. I'm like, first of all, thank you. I look great for my. Wait, how shitty do I look in my 30s? God damn it! Oh, like listen, it hurt. It hurt. And of course, Ash took it like, huh, you were very wrong. And I was like, ah! Now my hand is wet.
That was a good rant. I like that.
Sorry.
You should have a Twitch channel where you just rant all the time.
Scott's just like, I'm not old. Here are the facts why.
Old man yells at cloud.
It'd be funny. Once a week on Sundays, 1 hour stream where all I do is rant about shit and my wife is off screen yelling in, countering my rant points. It'd be a funny stream. We don't have to script it. We don't have to script it. It would just be me actually bitching about stuff and her actually being like, okay, boomer. Like, and that's, it's, yeah, okay, yeah.
Good idea.
Move back to the game. Rena, you were going to make a perception check with
Disadvantage, you said. That's right. Yep.
I was going to make a perception check on the other guys, but you said it was not necessary. So.
Oh.
You don't notice anything.
The one time it's not in my favor.
Am I not allowed to roll?
You can, if you see Rena like.
Disadvantage as well.
Yep.
Yeah, not good.
So yeah, you guys don't notice anything. Said many hours passed, maybe even a day passed. You haven't moved or anything. What do you? You don't even hear them around you.
Ovios is just simply gonna yell, Ethan?
Yeah.
Oh, that also means that Ethan hasn't brought you any food or picked up any slop in that amount of time.
Oh, your poo bucket's probably overflowing.
Sorry, it's
I'm
like
not
tasty.
bound, right?
No.
Rena, do you want to look outside?
Well, I was trying to, but I mean, yes.
No. Like, walk outside. This is very unusual.
I don't think anyone's around, so yeah, let's do it. I'll go to open, like, whatever, the caravan.
Okay, you can't.
I can't.
Locked from the
Is it
outside.
locked? Oh, it's locked.
There are no windows or anything, right? Out of this?
I don't know
Closed
why I
box.
thought there was, like, fabric somewhere. I'm imagining a different caravan.
She thinks. Oh, she thinks she's in Throne Keeper. She thinks it's a diamond wagon. Oh, how cute.
What's
Listen,
a
Rita,
diamond?
you're a diamond in my eye, but not the
Thanks.
world.
Mm.
All right. Do you think you can break it open, or is there somebody here who has some sort of lock picking?
Well, we can't. The lock is on the outside, right? Obviously, so I can't do it from the inside.
All I know is I'm getting pretty hungry, and I'm just saying, Vance, you looking mighty tasty. Shut up.
Can I try, like, ramming into the door?
Sure you can.
I'm not saying that in RP. I'm asking you.
Hold on, Vance, let's get out of the way. Let's shuffle blindly out of the way.
God. All right. What am
Ovius
I-
at this point is actually going to walk over to them and just say, "Now don't react." And he's going to lower Vance's blindfold first.
Okay.
Off of his eyes.
Well, it's something you don't see every day. Ophios, Rena, is it
I
gonna
am
eat me?
Ophios.
Oh shit, that's worse. What did they do to you?
And he's just going to ignore him and go to pull down
Chemtrails.
Laszlo's blindfold.
Okay, you go pull down Laszlo's blindfold, and he's like, oh man. That is a kind of pretty not even a mother could love.
Now you understand why you were blindfolded, right?
To spare me, please hold on. And pulls it back over his face.
He's gonna shove him just like against the wall, just like.
God damn it! I didn't see it coming.
All right, please stop.
I'm gonna move on.
I'd rather not starve to death. But it's probably best that this doesn't get shared around as well. My words will no longer be taken seriously.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll make sure I stay silent for you.
He's gonna make a
some
playful,
snappy
snapping bite at him.
Imagine that big ass snakehead just
Like huge, like
Yeah, just.
his jaw unhinges, like yeah, it's terrifying.
I just
There you
also
go.
my brain went, Grandma Shark doo 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 doo.
Oh my god.
I have teeth.
I hope so. So here we go.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Jeez. Okay. All right. What am I rolling?
Yeah, it's a strength check to try to bust down the door.
Strength. Okay.
Perhaps we should assist.
Let it
No,
try
I
first.
think it's fine.
Oh, that's not that's not your strength right now, is it?
What?
You ain't wearing
Oh.
your armor.
F.
Get off. Take it off.
Because it gives you a bonus to armor. It's a strength, doesn't it?
Yeah, I gotta look up how much it was initially. Hang on.
Oh, poor Rena.
Yeah, I'd have to figure out a lot of my AC stuff. I think my AC is 15.
Can you
I did
just
find out-
unequip your shield?
I did find out a way to modify that better for you, by the way, Rena. If you want to tell me what your original stats were.
My normal constitution is supposed to be 12.
Con 12. What else? Talk to me. Is that the
My
only
health?
one? I thought wisdom was also modified.
Wisdom was 12.
Does strength not get modified? Is that your legit
Strength
strength?
didn't get modified. That should be your legit strength.
Oh, wow. Wait. So wisdom and con are usually 12?
Yeah.
Currently they're 19 and 15 respectively.
Yeah, because the headband was wisdom and the armor did con.
So con is 12, wisdom is 12, and then over here you can say these make sure wisdom a con goes up by 7. Is it?
Wait. Is that strength from when you drank Bull's strength, or is that your native strength? Did you already have +5? I think she was a 4 before Bull's strength, because my con was a 4.
Go.
And that's my highest stat. That's the only thing I've increased.
I don't know if I changed that when I did bull's strength, though. I thought we just added it to my roll. Did I?
Did you? I'm sitting there like, do you have a 20
I
strength?
think it should
Why
be
did I
a
think you
4
have a 6?
modifier.
No, I think she has a 16 normally. Pretty sure she usually has a 16 strength. Am I crazy? Am I nuts?
I don't think you're crazy. I think you're.
I
I
don't
think
think
you're
so.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure your strength is naturally 16. That's why I was like, that modifier wrong. Yeah, it should be a 3.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay.
Cool. All right. So, unfortunately, darling, you're going to have to re-roll with the correct modifier.
All right.
We can't just change the modifier.
Oh, daddy rewards aren't on. My apologies. No, you know we always re-roll. That's how we roll.
Okay, I'll reroll.
What's that total of 15?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you want to modify that with luck dice?
Why not?
I guess, yeah. Oh, okay. 18.
I'm turning everything on for you guys. Chatty chat. Bam. I think that's everything for you. Cool. So, sorry. So, with your 18 total, you go running out the door and you smash into it. You don't break it.
Ugh.
I mean, you
Perhaps
hear
if-
you hear it stress. I'm not gonna say like you don't hear like the stress of the pops or whatever, but yeah, don't break.
Do I hear anything outside after that?
No.
Okay.
Perhaps if we all try, Rena.
All 4 of us?
It's not exactly like we can all run at the same time, is it?
No, but maybe we change our course of action.
All right. What's your plan?
Tipping and using the weight of the wagon against itself.
Hold up. So what you're saying is you want to hit the wagon on its side, knock it over?
Yeah.
Brilliant. How does that get us out of the wagon?
What if it doesn't open?
From my experience, if a wagon falls over, the wood breaks.
I hope you're right. I've never tipped a wagon. How many times have you tipped a wagon? Session 0.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we try 2 of us, and then if that doesn't work, we can tip it.
2 on each side. Rock and synchronization.
I like Rena's plan better first. Why don't you move out of the way? He says, leaves his blindfold on, and he's like trying to get himself to the back of the wagon so he can run himself forward. And he's feeling over. It's one of those things where he's like, Rena, you next to me? And he's like touching the face of Laszlo next to him. I mean, Vance next to him. Could you just take the damn blindfold off? Take it off. Reaches over and grabs the blindfold off Laszlo. Ah! Oh, sorry. It's gonna take a minute to get used to.
Laszlo, as a warrior yourself, oftentimes the gate is the most reinforced part of the structure.
Yeah.
It's taken care of the most. It's guarded the most because it's the normal way of entry. Wouldn't you think that would be the same thing for a wagon?
I'm thinking that's why they called this place the gate. All right, here we go. And he says, look at the arena.
All right, on 3.
Advantage arena.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh man.
Lock it. Lock it. Okay, lock it.
Oh. Wow. All right.
Oh shit. You know what? Maybe Ophios's plan is worth a try.
All right, let's do it.
This is actually going to be 2 people, one on that on either side, rocking in more or less opposite unison. You know what I mean?
We're running back and forth.
You doing the running? You're not. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, if you're doing the running thing, you almost
then
want
it'd
to
be all 4 of
jump
us.
and slam. Yeah,
Mhm.
almost want to like
Yeah,
jump
we
and
would.
slam.
We'd all go together on to one side and then to the other.
Because that would be the most effective method for doing so.
Yeah.
So okay, this is going to be a coordinated effort. You can't really. I'll still allow an advantage roll, but I think this time it's going to be more of an athletics or an acrobatics. Athletics. Let's say athletics.
It is kind of more strength based. I see. Just in order to knock it over. So is that Rena rolling?
Sure. Yeah. Good.
Okay. Advantage then.
Athletics check.
Yep. Hold on. Go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
I imagine the DC would be lower for this too. Wow.
Do you want to roll with your luck?
We don't have any.
Ours try. Hey, another one.
Oh, 1.
You guys are rocking for a while, and you're really, really, really trying, but it's not really working. And you can see that even what's his name there? Vance is actually, and he's not really a quitting type, but you guys are tired, you guys are hungry, so on and so forth. And he actually starts to give up first. And then I imagine like as he's like looking to stop, you literally have Laszlo, who's like also running back and forth. The guys goes, "Hey, I'm rocking here!" And to get Laszlo, Vance out of the way, and Vance is kind of like, "Fuck it," and like just does one big full throw and like throws his shoulder into it as you guys are like hitting in one direction, and it happens to be just the tip that you need. Is like hits the ground, and it's very uncomfortable for all of you. You have nowhere to go, so you smash into the ground, hit your shoulder, whack your leg, whack your head on the roof as it's going. Like, it is miserable for all of you. And The door does not open.
Nothing breaks.
Yeah, you definitely heard a lot of cracking and popping, snapping and whatnot. There's definitely could be some injured wood, but the door does not open.
Well, as it seems lately, plan didn't work. But if there's anyone out there, we got their attention.
Shit and piss.
No.
Oh, guys, everywhere.
Great. That's great. Can we hear anything?
I missed it in the season. Sorry, it was funny. So I'm sorry. You, can you what?
Can we hear anything outside of, like, I'm listening again.
No, but you can roll a
Okay.
perception check.
Okay. Disadvantage, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone hear a commotion or anything before we stopped, or when we stopped, or if anything happened?
Rena, you don't see, you did not, Tyler. You don't see or anything outside the wagon, but search the garage, try to find that spot where you looked out beforehand. Well, you did happen to notice one thing. First of all, the door did not break open, but it definitely is sagging some. It's definitely sitting a bit looser than how it was beforehand. You can actually see it has, instead of sitting like perfectly like flush, it actually is bowed ever so slightly. And then you have, yeah, outwards, like the way it's supposed to open, because like double doors is supposed to open. And then you also have the wagon itself, some of the wood like on the framing of it, like over on the sides, broke enough to the point where the wagon, instead of being like a perfect rectangle, it's more like a trapezoid, right? It's not like a little off kilter.
I think we should try the door again.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. If we smash the door enough, now that it's on its side, the door's hinged, right? You just have to lift it off the hinges. Usually it's too heavy for you to do that, certainly from the inside and angle and whatnot, but if we could just get it to break the wood just enough where it's clipping underneath the catch, we might be able to slide it off.
All right, if you guys want to help me again, I think we can do it.
Okay. Laszlo's like, well, I'm gonna have to duck. I don't know about you, Rena, but it's a little bit shorter this way. Remember, it's described as being 5.5 feet wide.
Yeah.
That's not the height. So, you're able to roll?
What am I doing? Strength?
Yep.
Okay. Advantage?
Yep.
What?
All right, listen. He said we just need to clear the sides. How about you say we just chisel out that wood? You know what? We're already covered in shit anyways. Let's grab the metal bands off that bucket and see if we can chop up some of the wood that's in the way.
Yeah,
Scott,
fair enough.
looking at this in any particular way, is there a possible chance, being a snake, being able to get better leverage because I can squeeze in between tighter spaces and things like that?
If they did try to shoulder it and opened it just a little bit more, like that bowing, just a little bit more, a boa might be able to get through.
Rena.
Mm.
Do you think if all of you pushed there, you might be able to create a bigger space for me to get out?
Listen, clearly Vance is the thinnest one here. If someone's going to try to squeeze, we should have him do it.
Ophios just kind of looks at him and looks at Rena and goes, you know what I mean.
I think he'll be able to do it. Just help me push it open.
What, are you going to slither out?
He starts transforming into a snake.
God damn it! What the fuck? Holy shit! Oh. Vance is also like backing up like, whoa. Whoa.
Relax. I'm not going to eat you.
He's like,
Unless.
He's like, Rita, seriously, you knew about this? He says, avoiding both the door and Ophios.
What, are you scared of a little sneak?
Ophios will
he's
simply
like
say.
Kaa from Jungle Book.
Ophios will simply look at him and say, "Push at the door."
Starts going over there, and I think it's how they meant push at the doors.
Push the doors. There you go.
Same thing. Strength advantage.
No. You guys go over there. Just gonna apply pressure. It's one of those things. We take enough time. You're applying pressure. It's Ophios has to make a acrobatics check.
Oh, okay.
Normal, right?
Si, signora. Would you like to luck die?
We'll see if we have any. It's a
Ooh.
14.
Guys keep floating at 1.
I know.
You almost got it, but then it's just one of those things where, unfortunately, you actually get caught. Like, oh god, it actually, like, you're a constrictor getting constricted. Like, it's actually, it's like squeezing your ribs. Like, they don't really have ribs, but you know what I mean. Now you have to strength check.
Me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just say hold it where it is, and I'll go to back up and go to ram it again.
Okay. You guys run in it. Boom! You hit it so hard, it actually breaks it. Like, it rattles because you can imagine the vibrations of smashing into it when it's pressed against him. Fucking hurt, Ophios. A good amount. But it breaks open the door, actually cracks it open enough that he can much more easily slither out now. And it's probably got it to where you could have maybe done the other trick before, or at least closer to that. Ophios, you're now outside. Looking around, I probably could have described this when you were just half slithered out, but you wouldn't go backwards. Anyways, looking around, you realize you're in a bit of well, I suppose it's like a bog or a marsh or a bayou, you know, like that kind of nasty, swampy Louisiana.
Wetlands.
Yeah.
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 Great.
It is
He's gonna
it's currently, because again, so many hours passed since you got here, the middle of the night. You don't know what time it is.
Ophios will simply turn her back and say, "It's not much nicer out here." Or,
Are you
it's
kidding?
not
It's-
much slicer out here. There's a lot of shits around. And he'll go to start using his staying in snake form, mind you. He's gonna try and help them lift it off the hinges from the outside.
You can absolutely do that. Lift it off the hinges. You don't necessarily have to do. You can actually go over and
Oh, okay.
yeah. If you can go over there and
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's the perfect reenactment.
Sorry.
You realize snakes can also just use their tails like people use hands, right?
Sure, yeah. So super prehensile. So you
They wrap their tail around it, they can move stuff. They use it for climbing all the time.
So you while you're doing that, roll me a perception check.
Okay. Normal?
Mm-hmm. You notice
Not a great roll.
it's not nice out here. Like living in Louisiana, there are a lot of mosquitoes about. They're super loud. You also hear things like croaking and whatnot. You go over, you open the thing up. Takes about 20 seconds or so, and you open up as soon as you unlatch it, the bottom door flaps open. That leaves it so the top door, of course, they Karina cares to, she can grab it and like hoist it as she walks out. She can hoist it up and then flap it back over her head onto the top of the thing. It's just like a knocked over canister, more or less, and you open up. One flap is like a doormat, the other one's thrown over the roof. They come out. They're still covered in shit.
Do you want to hop in the swamp? He's going to start turning back and he's going to say, do you want to hop in the swamp and take a bath in their shit?
Where are we? We're outside or we're not outside?
Yeah, you're outside. You're in like a bayou.
And there's nothing around that we can see?
Trees, lots of water, mud, dirt, tree roots, bushes, bugs buzzing around, but it's dark. So you're Perrin, you have, Perrin eyes, you can kind of see out here, but it's very dark.
There were no, and the caravan, as far as I can tell, was just by itself.
I'm sorry?
Like there's nothing attached to it, no other like.
Is it just our wagon or the horses?
Yeah. It's just a wagon. Yep. There's no horses or anything attached to it.
So they left us here in the middle of nowhere.
That doesn't feel right. What would be the point of leaving us here specifically?
Maybe they think I fit in. He would laugh, looking at Rena and seeing how Laszlo coming out would start like gregarious, boisterous laughter. Vance would give like a side smile.
I hope you can forgive me for hiding this from you.
You say to Vance, he's like, I get it. Laszlo's like, I wish you still did. Like, not even looking at you. Just kind of like looking around, taking the area.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of bugs around here, aren't there? Shit. Ugh.
He's slapping himself.
I have an idea, but you're not gonna like it.
What is the idea?
Disguise your scent. Disguise your smell. Cover yourselves in mud.
Would it be better than what was in the caravan?
Just be careful. I don't know what's in these swamps.
It's funny, as he says that, everybody roll a perception check.
Normal?
Si, senora.
I'm glad you can roll, because I can't today.
Rena, you happen to notice, because Ophios is distracted. Don't worry, Messi, I haven't forgotten about you. You have to notice, because Ophios is distracted, that the buzzing is getting really loud. Like, louder than you've ever heard buzzing happen before. And then you realize why. As a few sturges lower themselves from the trees above where they are, or bring themselves round off the lake, of the bayou, like the water area from where they are, come around the trees. There's a few sturges. When I say a few, about a dozen of them start flying towards you.
Sturges?
If you don't know what a sturge is, or sturges plural, they are mosquitoes about the size of a small cat.
It's Jumanji up in here.
They will plunge their huge, poker needle face things into you and literally suck your constitution dry. Sturges, a handful of sturges could suck one of you dead.
I'll just shout over, Ophius, you don't have any magic, do you?
Why?
Well, you know those mosquitoes that were annoying us? Yeah, we're about to see.
What the hell is this?
Says, 10 times the size, yeah.
And then
perhaps we get back inside.
And then you guys cutting away from your scene there. Messy. You were traveling with apparently the ruler of a small nation. A nation doesn't really matter all that much.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, one of the rulers.
One of the rulers of a small nation. I mean, there's nothing really impressive about that nation, is there?
Well,
it's not like anything really stood out to you.
They got some cool toys.
Amount of zombies, right?
There's zombies.
Yeah.
Were zombies the most exciting thing that you saw while you were there?
No. It
No?
probably would have had to been the literal angel. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's not something you see every day in Vala.
Nope, it's not. Luckily, you weren't in Vala. That's why you had an opportunity to see a, quote, literal angel. Christian, were you touched by the angel?
I don't think so.
Too bad. We could have started a TV series. Oh, well. So you, as you left with Ophelia and Cadus,
Cadus.
you guys traveled south and you traveled east. Predominantly east, though. Actually, so my apologies. You traveled east to get to where the that fort was, the fort that we had mentioned beforehand, the one we saw that flag.
Right.
That flag's still flying. It's looking good.
Wow. Wow, it's it looks so beautiful.
It's
What an amazing
designed
flag.
so well. It really is. Just,
It's incredible to look at.
you know what? Just have to. It's so beautiful. You have to put your hand over your heart.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
even see the flag right
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you don't see it? You'll see it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's all good. So,
It's great,
anyways,
by the way,
yeah, it's beautiful.
indescribable.
Indescribable. So you make your way over to the fort, where they're actually willing to, after a quick conversation with them and whatnot, because you happen to pass by the general again, as he's traveling back the other way. They're willing to part with you guys a small little skiff, a tiny, borderline a large rowboat, with a small little sail on it to catch wind if need be. But you're only going downstream anyways, so it doesn't really matter. And you're traveling your way to, technically it's upstream, it doesn't really matter, traveling your way to Hodgwen. So you guys travel into Hodgwen by way of the water. Yeah, that place is fucking insane. You want to talk about an undead problem? You're actually encountering it now. This place is inundated with undead constantly attacking and ravaging the outside and whatnot. But luckily for you, they have a bit of control happening there, as they're slowly constructing a wall to try to block off the area that you kind of pass by with your boat. You get out of it in a short little gap of time just to pop into the city. Inside, apparently they have issues of people getting bitten by zombies and contracting a virus that makes the zombie-oidismness take over their body and kill them, bringing them back as zombies, and they can bite other people. It's fucking horrifying. And the only way to cure it is by an extremely rare flower that they have a serious undersupply of. So there's actually an ongoing issue inside the city of people transforming into zombies and biting other people and spreading the disease.
There's a zombie cure here?
Your
Amazing.
Your stay here is very, very, very short. We're talking kind of like pop in, get the news, and leave. You're there for maybe an hour. And then you continue along the river and making your way east. Your plan is to head over towards Chizodal. Excuse me. Chizodal is what Cadus tells you. So you can try to get some news of what's happening in the regions over here. But you don't need to, because you actually are stopped. You actually come across, long before he's like, you see a literally an army of, what are they called? Peredhel soldiers down here. An actual army. Yeah, sorry. An actual army of Peredhel soldiers here. There's a huge number of them. Maybe, I don't know, 1,000, if you had to guess off the top of your head, that are lined up. They have tents and whatnot in the area. And over where you are, there's pyres like burning all over of this fire. Smell of just horrifying burning flesh as you approach. It's one of those things where you don't know exactly where you are, but Cadus says to you, strange. I didn't expect to see them so soon. I don't believe we've traveled so far to find our way to Chizodal. Let alone the outskirts, the outskirts of Chizodal. I say we stop here and see what we can discover.
With the army. With the literal 1,000 soldiers.
Indeed, yes.
All right. We'll stay close.
Good. He will pull up the thing on an old dock that happens to be there. That happens to be there. The thing is beat to shit, but it's good enough to take your small little boat thing that you have, as well as an actual like sailing ship that they have here that they clearly would have brought to bringing supplies or people or whatever it was. But we're talking like an actual like riverside war vessel, like something that lots of like almost like a long ship, like lots of Roman be able to travel along it. It has weapons designed onto it, armored on either side of it. Even like the mast itself has a thin layer of metal put on certain points in it. to reinforce it here and there. Anyways,
Nice.
so when you finally boat kind of pulls up, the soldiers that are there immediately try to stop you guys, and of course he identifies who he is. And they're like, "Let us go get our, commander for you." So they leave and going gather up the commander, and when she comes back, it's one of those things where she confirms, of course, that is in fact Cadus, and invites the three of you to go have a meeting with her. You can see there's a moment. I won't make you roll an insight check. You can see there's a moment where Cadus is genuinely contemplating whether or not he should say something as she invites the three of you, but doesn't, and allows you to come along as well.
Okay.
Who's he with other than Cadus?
Ophelia.
Okay, don't know that name, so.
Nope, definitely don't. So then the three of you.
Ophelia.
I heard
Okay.
I heard something different.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the
Ophelia.
case. I was like, you
Ophelia.
said, okay, you go to your room.
I heard Ophelio
Yeah.
Othello?
Sure.
instead of Ophelia.
You can come back.
Okay, dude. Sorry, I mispronounced one
Sorry.
word.
Sorry,
I
guys.
it literally, and I'm not trying to call you out for it. That's why I asked. I'm trying to explain why I asked. Nothing against you.
Uh-huh.
You're fine.
In my room.
No. There you go.
Sorry,
Are you
guys.
laying on the floor trying to find that, like staring at the screen from the floor,
What?
like peeking over the desk?
Yeah,
That sounds
that's what he was
sad.
doing the whole time.
I don't think I would do that. Sorry,
Here, let me change my background to better match yours real quick.
Mommy got
So
mad.
good.
Had to
Go to your room.
Hold on, didn't mean to do that. We're good. There we go.
Perfect. All right. So, anyways, Ophelia, and you, the three of you go meet up with her. When you meet up with her, she actually has clearly taken over a building that's here and using it as kind of like her central point, her command point, base of operations, whatever you want to call it. When you guys come walking in, you can see there's her under lieutenant, the one that's supposed to more or less keep track of her records, so on and so forth. They handle a lot of like the day-to-day stuff for her. Is there with her as well, trying to get actual ranks for you. Not that you really care all that much, but this is more for the viewers. Because they care about this. Some of them do. So she would be she actually is going to be not even a commander. My apologies. This is the person in command. She's actually a CW. The CW. She's actually a Centurion of War. And the person that's with her is an LC, a lieutenant, or an LTC, sorry. A lieutenant Centurion happens to be with her. So he actually outranks her when he comes in, which is why she, of course, invited him to come along here and didn't question the people that are traveling with him. So she comes in, she offers him a beverage, and he declines, but says that his two friends would like a refreshment, and the two of you are handed an alcoholic beverage for you to have.
Nice. I'm like a diplomat.
So you guys, when you have your drinks and you sit down, she actually says to you, I do apologize. My commanding officer doesn't happen to be here with us right now. Welcome, Josh. How are you doing, sir? My commanding officer doesn't happen to be here right now, and for that, I do apologize. But I can try to fill you in on the details as they're going on if you'd like. That's not an issue. Excuse me one second.
Once more with feeling.
Sorry.
Why? No. Cursed imagery.
Sorry about that.
Cursed.
Let's do it for Josh. So, anyways, so yeah, you, hurts my
You had
soul.
to?
So she says, I'd love to fill you in on what's been going on here if you'd like, Commander. He says, please do it. And so, she says,
And
well,
he doesn't like tell us to leave or anything. He's letting us sit there and listen in.
correct.
Okay.
She says, well, some time ago, there was a small group of adventurers that were sent to come and investigate something in the region. Old ruins that were rumored to exist. So we sent them in, and the commander did, I should say. She sent them in, and they discovered the ruins. Unfortunately, only one of them returned. But they brought back with them kind of an interesting finding. I honestly don't have all the details about that because it's kind of, any records that I've read have been redacted. But came back finding something interesting, the lone survivor. Needless to say, it piques the interest of the commander so much that she actually wrote to the prince, and we actually got additional reinforcements, and we actually have a army of 3,000 soldiers maintaining this region while they are investigating this further. So we brought it was actually originally 4,000 soldiers, but 1,000 soldiers died fighting the dead, or close to. I should say there were 1,000 casualties fighting the dead, and some of them came back as it was a whole thing. We had to more or less cauterize the wound, if you know what I mean, Commander. He looks sullen at her saying that and nods. But we were able to stop them, all of them in the area. Others have come and attacked as well, but we took care of them as well. We now maintain 1,000 soldiers here in case their numbers start to grow again or the like. And the other 2,000 soldiers are to the south. They're searching for or investigating the location of interest. Is this something I should be looking into? Or is this something that the commander would need assistance with? No, sir. I believe she has it under control. She, of course, is heading up the 2,000 soldiers to the south, making sure things are looked after. So you decided to come into these lands. We, again, got authorization by the prince. Commander, rumor is... And she leans in to say something. Rumor is that the prince... And then she leans back and says, I'm sorry, are these two authorized to hear this information? He says, they're fine enough. She's like, it's kind of a weird response. And so she's like, okay, well, rumor is that the prince is actually going to be coming in and redrawing some lines. Rumor is the prince is actually going to claim some of this region over here for themselves, expanding Peredhel. It's kind of interesting. It makes you wonder exactly what they did discover to the south, doesn't it? It does, but nonetheless, it's not your concern. Do as you're told. She's like, oh, of course, sir. Of course. I was just, interested. Well, stay interested, but follow your orders. Look for an opportunity to impress your commanding officer, and you just might find yourself an opportunity to get a promotion yourself. Nonetheless, do you know how far this region is that they're looking to expand into? From what I understand, they said that they're going to be a little conservative with the land that they take because of everything that's been going on here recently. The rumors coming out from the west, but I don't know, but they're definitely looking to take some of the lands. I believe you might not know this area all too well, but the river that you came in off of, to the south of that, there's another river. I believe they're taking all the land south of that river. It just makes sense geographically. I mean, why would they not want to own that river? It's a free passage between Chizodal and Meshtes if they did something like that. Makes sense. They might take some lands north of that as well, depending on... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they claimed this town. Sounds like the commander has everything under control. You're saying that she doesn't need any assistance with investigation? Then I guess we can continue our checks from here. Do you mind if I borrow this building for some time? Of course, Commander. I'd be more than happy to. If you need me, I will leave my lieutenant outside the door, and they can come and fetch me if you need it. Perfect. Thank you very much. And she looks at the lieutenant, nods, gets up, says Commander, and leaves. And after she leaves, he's actually going to get up, make his way around like where she was sitting, and sit down so he's opposite the two of you. You and Ophelia.
Like while he's sitting, or like maybe as soon as he sits, Elijah will say, is she normally that suspicious? Or people of your rank, do they normally dig their noses in where
You don't
not-
exactly fit the part.
I was referring more to the rumors about the prince and what they found. She seems curious.
Once you get to certain echelons of the military, it's good to know things. If you know things, then you can react before others. You stand out. It's the military structure itself is itself a battlefield sometimes. It's
Well,
unfortunate.
If she's telling you about it, she might be unable to handle whatever this truth is alone. I mean, it sounds like if what you're saying is true, she would want to keep this information to herself and use it in the future, but she told you about it before she even knew about it, truthfully. And
She knows that I
seems
have no
worried.
interest in this area. I'm traveling through. That, and she served under me before.
history. Okay.
But that aside,
What
Do you have
kind of
any
under though?
I was hoping we'd be able to get through. Don't say anything. We just. I knew it. I knew it.
he's so proud of himself too. Look at him. Oh, he's so proud of himself.
Eat some
That
pizza.
You
face.
know what? Doxy would be proud of you too. He's gonna flex next time I make a joke like that. She'd be really happy. Did you see that stream or no?
I haven't watched
haven't.
it yet.
The short version.
She told me about it because we were messaging on Discord.
Yeah, it was one of those things where somebody had to go get her a napkin. She was drooling while talking about your charity stream. She's like, no, really, it was really important that Tyler was raising money and oh, his arms. Oh, jeez, I'm making a mess over here.
She's like
Oh,
raising money
Oh,
for kids. Wow. Just keeps going on.
oh, it was pretty intense. I was like, all right, Doc, so you're making Tyler uncomfortable, and he's not even in the room.
He's not even here.
I'll do it for you. All right, so, that's right. So moving on, he says, do you have any idea what in this region could potentially attract the attention?
So you're not curious about it at all?
Of course I'm curious about it, but it's not our task.
Out of character, does Elijah know that the Loper, I don't remember if Ophelia told him or not, does Elijah know that the Lopers are all the Kringle family? And that I think he does, right?
I think you guys told him that, yeah. You just didn't give him the, like a list.
So he
I don't
probably would
remember.
know that the prince is either closely related to or part of that family, right?
He is.
Um,
As far as I'm concerned, I believe he is Kringle. The prince would be Kringle, right?
he's referring to, actually, I won't lie, I forgot about that. Oh, I have actually a cheat sheet for this shit.
Yeah, because Ophios didn't have the sheet. And Rena didn't have
The
the sheet.
Turumbar. Not the prince, specifically the Turumbar Harwi. Their name is Zelyi Kringle. Well, in Peredhel, there's in the city of Meretsk, the commander is also Kringle. Those are the big names. So literally the Turumbar Harwi would know. But they specifically said the prince. They didn't say the Turumbar. So it's not necessarily that one would know and not the other. I'm trying to find my other thing. Nations of Eroth. Going down to Peredhel. The Prince of Peredhel, which is the Peredhel. Their name is Arzek Yenez. By far the youngest among the princes. Only 10 years into his adulthood. And he's already climbed to the top of the social structure, which means he's 30. It says, of a nation. He originally came from a small, failing merchant family. Blah, 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 blah.
Would Elijah know all that? I feel like Elijah would know that he's a high-ranking person, and Loper's high-ranking people. I think.
You would know
That's
that
about the
the
extent of it.
princes. The only thing above princes are the Turumbar, the 3 Turumbar. It's the only thing above the 9 princes.
Okay, cool.
Prince is a generic term. It could be a male or female. That doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Going back in, Elijah would
Whoa.
say. Elijah would say, your subordinate said that it was a prince coming, right? And princes are fairly high-ranking, and from our intel, the Lopers are too. It's possible he could know something and could be related to that.
So you're saying this thing that they found of interest, very well maybe of Loper interest?
I haven't seen it. Just heard about it today. It's possible. More than likely.
Thus far, our only encounter with Loper was one that was already dead. So you're just thinking that perhaps there might be a living Loper there.
A very good chance, yes.
Honest question. I assume Vance hasn't told Elijah of Ophios, right? Okay.
I have no. Well, Ophelia might have.
So my question was
She didn't-
whether Ophelia would have a thought here of it might have something to do with our kind.
So she generally likes to stay quiet and listen, because this isn't people that she's opened up to. So well, a little bit to Elijah, but not in front of Cadus. So he says, so you think this might be Loper, so on and so forth. He's like, damned. I was kind of hoping to find myself back in the in Peredhel. Continue our search there, perhaps even meet with a Kringal. But you're suggesting that we should head south, find whatever ruins these are.
If there's shit on our doorstep, we should go smell it.
That is a horrible analogy.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of good ones up north.
Well, I am genuinely rattled by that analogy. Finish your drink. There's no reason for us to dawdle any further. Unless you need a comfortable bed to lie in this evening, he says to Ophelia. Ophelia just gives him like a cold look. He says, didn't think so. We march in an hour. Walk about town if you need to. We march in an hour.
Am I free to leave?
Indeed. I'm going to see if I can read up on some of this paperwork that we have sitting here. On your way out, could you have the lieutenants get the Centaurian for me? I want to see if I can glean any more information.
And will I be safe wandering myself?
She saw who you walked in with. The only thing that would bring you danger is a zombie. We've already seen you can handle them.
Okay. I'll let him know. And I'll go walk out and tell the guy to bring the girl. The Centurion? Centurion?
Yes, Centurion. All right,
That's
cool. So you make your way downtown, walking fast, base past,
Stop.
southbound.
Like
So-
at least once a stream, is there like a minimum requirement here that you have to hit, or otherwise you start sweating profusely and you like break out in hives or something?
Actually, it's a contract that Steve and I have with one another.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, he actually has
Steve,
duties.
as
of
we all
me.
know, is a bit of a lawyer shark. You know, he gets those finer details.
Listen, he has pictures of me that he's going to leak to the public if I don't boomer every once in a while. So
Yeah, that sucks, man.
I know.
I hear that.
Snaga, it's almost like if somebody clipped that small part where she leaned in and whispered the rumors of the prince and threw that into the clips area of chat and pinged those 3
Hey,
cast members.
That's meta. That's meta. That's
Almost.
That's power gaming.
Moving on. So you go walking around town. Honestly, there's soldiers. Just outside of town, there's graves. Also outside of town, there's pyres of burning zombies.
Okay. Not much to do or see. Okay.
There are areas where there's what's the word, like commissaries. There's commissaries where you could actually go in because you're not part of the military. You won't be able to just like request things because you have been given a writ by a commanding officer to give it to you. But you could actually make purchases for stuff if you wanted to.
Well, I mean, if there's someone selling scrolls, that'd be cool.
Actually, they would be.
Walk up over there, see what they peruse.
Right? You walking up over it, and
shot.
you actually see there's a gnome over there. And you come walking up, and the gnome's like, "Oh, hello."
Good evening, sir.
Just kidding, I'm not gonna do that voice. Evening.
Thanks. So you have fine scrolls here.
They're, of course, crafted by the Arcane Congress. Finest that you'll find in any land. Ever.
You mind if I take a look and see for myself?
Certainly. Do you have a preference for what kind of magics you're looking for? Are you going on the offensive? You don't seem to be military. Were you hired by them? A mercenary of sorts?
Working as an advisor of sorts.
Ah, advisor. Divinations then? Perhaps something to get an edge. Potion or scroll to keen one's intellect? Or perhaps, I mean, listen, we've all had the brown nose from time to time. It's just unfortunately how it works. I've got a scroll or potion if you'd like that makes you really good at brown nosing.
A charm scroll.
Well, makes you more charming.
And what would that fetch me?
Potion or scroll?
I have to trade a scroll for a scroll. That's can cost.
I was sorry, just potions are more expensive, so I'm not sure what you said.
Oh, the scroll. How much is the scroll?
Ah, scroll for something like that? Let me just look this really quickly. Only about 150. Oh, yeah, you're not military. 150 gold.
Wait, hold on. If I was military, you're saying the price would be different?
Yes, by contract with the Arcane Congress and it's the active army here.
What would the price be if I was military?
125. Standard.
I'll be right back. And I'll make my way back to find Cadus.
Okay. Cadus is having a wonderful conversation with what's her name?
I'll knock before I enter, but I'm still gonna enter.
The lieutenant opens the door for you.
Okay.
Announces, says, Commander, your companion is here. Cadus looks over. Ah, Elijah?
Are you in the middle of something? Should I come back later? I just needed a moment of your time.
I am in the middle of something. What did you need my time for?
There were some scrolls at the commissary. I was hoping we could you could help me acquire some before we went on our journey.
He looks to her. She looks back at him. There's like a moment, and she's like, absolutely, of course. She looks at the lieutenant. You're not needed here. The two of us can handle this conversation. Will you please accompany Elijah here?
That's a discount, baby. And I'll let him lead, and I'll try not to piss him off. I'll just be quiet.
He walks out with you, and you guys, like 30 seconds, there's one of those like friendly nods, I imagine, as you're going. Maybe even a handshake, because Corona's not real. Listen, I miss it. I miss
Poison damage.
I miss shaking hands. It's like how I was raised from a young age, you know?
Yeah,
Firm
it's kinda
handshake, strong
strange.
eye contact, you know? Like when you meet somebody and you're just like,
I don't even get there. I just walk in and I'm like, hello, my name is so and so. Nice to meet you.
I always
And I'm
say,
like-
I shake your hand, but you know, I say that
stopped
awkward
saying
thing.
that.
No, I do. I do.
There was this one lady I was helping. She was definitely a boomer, by the way. I had to get on her computer to do something for her, and then when I got off,
Whoa.
she
Is that an
when I
innuendo?
got off her computer, she she took a napkin and she squirted hand sanitizer all over it and wiped down the mouse and keyboard like 3 times.
Huh?
Like a lot. And I was like, I did that before I sat down, by the way, but that's fine. And I had to keep going back to her, and every single time she would do it. She would watch me put the hand sanitizer on my hand, rub it in, and then I would use it. And then when I was done, she would do it anyway.
She must think COVID eeps out of your fingertips, like through your pores. Listen, nothing makes me happier than like when you're driving down the street and you see somebody drive by with a mask on, gloves on, windows up by themselves in a car. Like it just like lightens, I mean, it brightens my day. I'm like, there's a Trump supporter right there. Look at that. Ah. That's my assumption. It probably has nothing to do with anything whatsoever. I just made a harsh assumption of people that both A, do that, and B, are Trump supporters. And I'm comfortable with it because
I don't know if those two groups overlap that much.
it's okay. I don't mind. It makes me laugh.
Right. So we're at the commissary now, right?
I drive by them and I think to myself, Grease 2. Beauty school dropout. Beauty school dropout. No? Okay.
Yes, it's a good song. Now I'm gonna be singing it in my head. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Hey, listen. No. Rizzo. Rizzo's my favorite. Love Rizzo.
Yeah,
Rizzo.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yes, she's the best.
She is. Sandra D.
Sandy. I was gonna say it. We don't like Sandy.
Ugh. Hussy.
Ew.
The worst.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rizzo's dealing with the real problems. She's like, I'm pregnant. It's like,
She's a real one. Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie in like 10 years more.
It's actually that her story of it was like, at first he was like a jerk and she was like, fine, I don't need you. I'm an independent woman. And then he comes back and he's like, I'm sorry.
I love this Grease 2 synopsis.
Actually, it's Grease 1. She's actually referring to Grease 1.
Yeah, we're talking about, because you started,
Cool.
you started
Cool.
singing. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, come back. All right, so moving on. He goes over with you, you get a discount.
Great.
125.
I think I have 400. That's 3 scrolls.
Sure. 3 scrolls of Eagle Splendor.
375.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll take that charm one.
It's Eagle Splendor.
And then that's the scroll. All right, I'll write it down. We'll fix it later.
That makes you more charismatic.
Is there one that made me smarter? He said there was one that made me smarter.
Yep. It's called Fox's Cunning. Nope. Yep.
I'm gonna write it down.
Fox's Cunning.
And then does he have any kind of a like a low level attack spell maybe?
Yeah, of course. You want so just so you know, those are 2 second level spells. First level spells are way cheaper, for the record.
Oh,
So
nice.
did you want a first level spell?
Yes.
Give me 1 second. I'll find a fun one for you. First level. Attack spell. An interesting different one.
Are you pulling Pathfinder spells out?
What? No. Totally not on your Pathfinder wizard spells first level evocation. Definitely not there. Thunderstomp. Touch of combustion. Touch target ignites in flames, suffering 1d6 fire damage and possibly catching on fire.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool sounding spell because of what you could do with it.
Yeah, they have to be wearing paper though, right?
I don't know what you could do with it, but yes.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, throw that on there.
Okay, touch of combustion.
What's the price?
I'll modify. It's a first level spell, so technically speaking, that scroll is only 20 gold for you.
Hey, we're making out. This is highway robbery. All right, I'll call it there. I don't want to make you research spells for me all stream, so I'm done.
I don't mind.
I do
so
have some more gold though.
how much gold do you have left after you bought 2 second level and 1 first level?
It's 270.
With a discount, you can buy a 3rd level spell. This is
I have
usually
130 left.
it's usually 300 gold for a 3rd level spell, I believe. So
I have 128 left.
oh, 128 left. I'm so sorry. No, you'd be able to buy a 2nd level scroll, a spell again.
I'll take another first level attack if he's got a good one.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. Yeah. There's a spell called Boomer. It's actually called Wizened Appearance, but we can call it Boomer.
What does it do?
Makes you look old.
Yeah, no thanks.
Ooh, here's a good one. Touch of Gracelessness. It's like the spell. What's 5e call it? Touch of Fatigue. But it'll be for dexterity instead. What is Touch of Fatigue? No, Rave Enfeeblement is what they call it.
Oh, Rave Enfeeblement.
Rave
Isn't that
Enfeeblement
like
is on a hit target deals. Sorry. On a hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the end of the spell. The other one is the same exact thing, but for dexterity instead of strength.
Does it do damage or is it just the debuff?
It gets a new save every turn. God damn it. Rave Enfeeblement's garbage in 5e. It's a debuff. But it's called Touch of Gracelessness.
I think I'm good.
Okay. And then give me 1 second. I'll find one more, and then we can get back to the actual story stuff.
Okay.
Isn't it nice
Such a brain.
having somebody? Isn't it nice having somebody that can actually, use these scrolls in the party? One called Itching Curse.
They can sell curses on scrolls?
Yeah.
I don't
Do you
know
have
why I
Magic
thought that
Missile?
was-
I know that sounds lame, but do you have Magic Missile?
I actually don't have Magic Missile. I wouldn't mind
Hey, Magic Missile was 20 gold. Bam. Done.
All right, that's it.
Moving on. So the Lieutenant Centurion, which by the way is a pretty high rank in the military. Let me get back over here. Just so you know, a Lieutenant Centurion is a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an 04. It's not exactly a small rank. Okay. Anyways, so the Lieutenant Centurion is like so how did you come to meet the commander?
He came to a town I was staying in, and I came to him about some news of things happening in Peredhel, and he wanted me to accompany him so we could find out the truthfulness of it. I can't talk in too much detail because it is very classified.
You're heading south, aren't you?
It looks that way currently.
Well,
You've been there.
No, I have not. And none of the soldiers that have gone south have come back yet. Well, that's not entirely true. Obviously, messengers have come back, but no, troop or anything have come back yet. The commander certainly hasn't either, so they're either fervently searching, or they found, and they're very interested in keeping it safe. I had to guess, knowing the commander that went down there, they found it. She's a little dedicated to her tasks.
So you think they're choosing not to come back?
I do.
Interesting.
I think that they've already discovered whatever it is there's to discover.
And those messengers that you spoke of, did they mention anything about what they saw?
They don't speak to me. They speak to the commander, they speak to the Centurion alone. With the door shut.
Right. Then I'm sure I'll hear something soon.
I'm sure you will. Best of luck down there. It'll be a dangerous place.
We'll need it. Thank you.
By the way, you're gonna help but notice your accent.
I'm a foreign advisor.
Ah. Interesting.
Is that going to be a problem?
Curiosity. That's all.
Hmm.
I'm not going to question a commander's options. Oh, sorry, a commander's decisions. That'd be foolish. He outranks me a lot.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I have, as of recently, fought side by side with him, and we trust each other.
I'm sure we will not get that opportunity. Oh, be safe when you head south.
Thank you.
I don't know if you
He'll take
guys...
his binder of scrolls and tuck it away, walk off.
Somebody just clicked Twitch chat pool of luck, and it goes, "What does this do?" Pushes button. Oh, look, random D4. Here you go.
I'll use it now.
Okay, and then you head back up there, and kind of like as you finish up the scroll, this takes some time, so on and so forth. As you head back to the place, you can see he's already outside of the whatchamacallit, of the building. He says, "Elijah, to your horse. We're heading south."
It was fast.
Indeed, important things have been discovered. We'll talk on the road.
Okay. And I'm assuming Ophelia is with us, right?
Of course.
Great. Then let's go.
As you guys are traveling to the south, about an hour into it, so you're like well outside of the town, nobody else around you, just the wilderness. He'll actually turn to Ophelia, not you, but Ophelia, and say, "Ophelia, what do you know about mole experimentation?" Nothing. I barely even know what the mole are. I've just heard that there are people that existed long ago and they're not here anymore. Hobgoblins, I believe. Correct. But you know nothing about their experimentation. Deeds they did in the past. No. Elijah?
Hobgoblins? You want to roll history to see?
Yeah.
Or would I not?
It's more of an arcana, really.
I mean, I have a +7 in both, so I don't mind.
I mean, you unfortunately just know that the mole did a different type of magic than the Arcane Congress. Probably different from the Amalte's magic as well.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd just let him know that all I know is it's a different field of magic I'm not familiar with. But I guess that I've heard of it.
I didn't know this because it wasn't taught to me in the history lessons that I learned as a boy in Taziendale or a soldier coming up in Peredhel. But apparently the Maltese, no, my apologies, the mole, they had a type of magic that was a little different, as you said. But beyond that, they actually are able to experiment on people, experiment on more than people. Records, study, research of them have shown that. Did you know that the greatest horses in all of Aeroth come from the eastern reaches of Adir?
I hadn't heard.
You hadn't? Well, apparently they were created by the mole. Centuries ago. Millennia ago. Created by the mole. Experimentation is what created it. Apparently, the mole used to experiment on more than just horses. They experimented on people, too. Most of their experiments are failures. But, supposedly, there are greater things as well. I bring this up because it seems as though the prince is interested in these experiments. If they're true or not, and if they are true, potentially finding the location of where these experiments, the results, the data pertaining to all this stuff can be found, and using it, of course, making potentially greater soldiers or whatever it might be. using the successes of the mole to bring greater successes to Peredhel. The perfect person. Apparently, the prince is looking to create the perfect person.
And Elijah would be very straight-faced, kind of emotional Stonewall, and he'd say, "Well, I don't know too much about experimentation, but it's my opinion that the prince should look elsewhere. It won't end well." But if what you say is true, then the question of whether or not the Lopers are involved became a lot more interesting.
It does, because it makes me curious. We don't know how long the Lopers have been here. We know the Kringal family has been with the Peredhel since early history, right? But we don't know how long the Lopers have been here. So either the Kringal have always been Lopers, or the Lopers took over portions, if not the full, Kringal family. This is what we understand based off of whatever discovery Ophios and Zarina had over time. So the question is, were the Lopers involved with the mole in their experiments before? Or are they just trying to get their hands on it? Or neither? And this
Possible.
is an actual opportunity for us to find a way to fight back against these creatures. You saw what happened when we found a dead one. I am not looking forward to the day where we find a live one.
Me either. But it brings into question why the mole failed if their research was successful. We need to be very careful.
We do, indeed. Should we list the entire time we RP? We do indeed. Kya! So, I can't think while doing that. So,
It's hard, right?
yeah, like I can't even string a sentence. So, you, yeah, the issue. Keep yawning. I'm so sorry. I should have had coffee tonight. So, the issue that I see is, if we do get our hands on these experiments, can I be honest with you about something? Put aside our nations. Aside all of this. It's man to man, and women, of course. She doesn't even give a shit.
Yeah, of course.
If Peredhel gets their hands on this technology, on this magic, you know what they're going to do with it. They're going to hand it to the Congress. And while I understand that the Congress serves a very important purpose, incredibly important purpose for the safety of the people in Aroth, it's necessary for them to regulate so that people don't use dangerous magics and bring harm to others.
Skip your speech.
He nods, like his face drops a little bit. He nods, like understands. But they also have their own methods and death by experimentation. I mean, on the nose, it sounds horrible. In practice, you know it's going to be so much worse.
Whatever's left there, we need to make sure we destroy before we leave.
Can't say that. While my heart screams yes, I do serve Peredhel. I think what would be better is if we got our hands on it before the other commander. Or at least convince the other commander to go along with our plan of convincing Peredhel to destroy whatever this is. We don't even know what it is.
It's too dangerous.
I say
You
we
do
assess.
whatever you need to, but I'm not leaving. That research lives.
I understand. First things first, let's get there. And you guys ride south. You ride south for a bit more, and a bit after that. Though not as long as these two were doing whatever the hell they were doing. And eventually, you come down to where a river is. But if you had any questions where you're supposed to go, it's pretty easy. He literally says, when in doubt, follow the boot prints. And you follow the boot prints. Scarce at first, and then plentiful. You follow the boot prints until you find the army. There's literally scouts traveling out here and there, scores. Each scout group moving about is a score of men, 20 men, because they have that many and they can spare it.
Did we camp at all between horse ride to there? Was it just straight shot for out?
Give me 1 second to see how long of a trek it is. It's about 30 miles. And I believe you can travel that relatively comfortably. And as this is plains. Notes. Nope. Kingdom rules. Travel. On horses. You would. Yeah, you would probably have to take a one rest along the way. Why? What's up?
I would try to copy down the which scroll was it? The touch of combustion scroll. I'd probably try to put that in my spellbook.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Do you have the money to do so? Did you buy the ingredients to do that?
I don't know.
One moment.
What are the
Classes?
rules for writing spells down? Like
I'm looking it up right now because I don't remember for this. So let's see. As spells into spellbook, learning, higher, casual, your spellbook. Copying spells into spellbook, 2 hours, 50 gold for each level. Is it first level spell, is that?
Okay. It's the
So,
first level, yeah.
50 gold in 2 hours.
That's fine.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
You got enough money for it?
Yep.
Cool. And then specifically
And, well-
War Wizard.
While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and do Magic Missile too for another 2 hours because I have just a little over 50 gold left, so I'm just gonna spend it all.
Cool. So you would have spent it beforehand buying the reagents and whatnot to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And those two are inside here. Cool. Touch of Combustion, I can give you the details later on if you want to just more or less straight copy paste them off of Googling Pathfinder Touch of Combustion, and then we can translate it to 5e afterwards. Moving on. So you get down there, you follow the blueprints, so you actually find the standing army. And the army is held, actually a standing army. Separating between you and an old castle, old ruins that happen to overlook the river nearby.
Sorry. I was fixing my spells. What's up?
There, hello. Messy. So the old ruins that happen to overlook a river.
Oh, okay. And there's an army there?
Something
And
strange about.
what
Sorry. Do me a favor. Roll me a intelligence check.
Am I smart enough to see that there's something strange?
Probably not.
Oh
Oh,
my
God. Watch
Cool.
this.
I'm useless to an NPC.
Why? Why is
Was
this
that
happening?
Ophelia? Was that Ophelia?
It's
No,
Cadus.
It
Cadus.
was Cadus.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
Just tell me.
Chat, I want suggestions on who we should replace Messy with in this campaign.
Let me just roll a third character, please.
No. It's clearly not the characters. It's clearly you. Do you have suggestions?
No, I swear. It's not me, guys.
Any of my friends that you guys know of that I should reach out to, or any other streamers that you think I might be able to like get a hold of that might be a friend of a friend?
Wade!
Anybody should? No. We don't want Wade. If we bring Wade in, he's doing something different. Somebody else that I might be able to ask to take over his spot.
Patrick.
I got Daelric. Your whole midsection's missing.
Pat, that'd be like an even replacement with Messy, right?
Hey. The hell?
Moving on.
Guys,
There might
stop.
there
Chat,
might be
stop.
more viewership off of that though, Scott. So
Off of what?
arguably even
It's just a straight
personality.
upgrade.
You say what, Pat?
Yeah.
Oh, I never care about that stuff. But yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. I care about having fun.
I was saying that just to make Messi feel bad.
Markiplier.
Because I'm evil.
Of course. A I like Pokemon. Oh, like Pokemon dude. Oh, Rita, should we get Pokemon dude to replace Messi?
No.
You want to get
We-
Pokemon dude?
We're not gonna replace Messi.
Well, you know what? But he's
Well, never
but
say
he's-
never.
He's been like I've been accosted by Pokemon dude because he started watching your streams about a week before me.
Yeah,
I've been accosted.
he does make that well known to everybody.
Everybody. Nope,
But you
yep.
know,
Oh,
no,
I'm
we're
just
not
saying.
replacing Messi.
Okay.
Why do you think Regicide is funny, y'all?
Tyler's hair.
No.
Rena thinking she's significant.
I guess I'm not. That's fine.
Tyler's like, I can't stand for you being mean to Rena. I can't even listen.
Took
to
his
this.
headphones off. I'm not even listening anymore.
So, anyways, you go walking. It's actually Cadis that says, "Those ruins look familiar to you at all?"
No. There. I don't know. Is that right?
No. Oh, I mean, you could say they look like mole ruins or whatever.
They look like more ruins.
No, not that. They look similar in structure, design. Not the same, obviously, but very similar to that in Kurzfall. They have a beautiful castle there. And while that one
The
is
one with the
different.
flag?
Kurzfall is the city that you were in where you saw a eloper and, hung out with.
Oh, that. Oh.
Yeah.
Where
Okay,
you kissed a
gotcha,
girl
yeah.
and you liked it.
She didn't.
I don't remember kissing anyone. I think I would remember that. Maybe I'm just really bad at this.
I do agree one-legged Vaku would be an upgrade. So
Give him a peg leg.
so he says, doesn't this not look like the castle in Kurzfall?
Now that you mention it, it does.
Let's go have a look.
Is there a very prevalent leader in the group, like a commander wearing different armor or something?
Not where you guys are riding up. There's just others that see a commander riding up, and they just kind of give nods or whatever. But then somebody will actually come over to interrupt you. Person that comes over to interrupt you. You can make a history check to know the rank of this person just by looking at their armor and the sigils on them.
Ooh, pretty good.
Josh, why are you complaining? You're about to move to Boston. You can literally come to my house. Josh, just think. Just think. In like 2 weeks' time, you can come here.
I was gonna say that.
Just think, Josh.
No, wait, you got a swing in there?
Josh, there's a spot for you waiting right here.
Or Josh,
can
if
even
you
go
want to come back
relax
to
over there if you
Florida,
want
I got a beautiful couch you could stay on for a night.
No. Rena, don't make that joke. It won't
Don't
be
worry about the
appropriate.
camera.
Oh. Well, Josh, we could swing, Josh? We could both swing at the same time? You know what I mean?
Is
Moving
it a
on.
bar?
So you, there's a delicious selection. So many flavors for you to choose from. And don't worry,
Alright.
nothing burns a little.
Your voice cracking in that joke was so fucking good.
So sorry. Tyler's giving the I am not amused look. All right, continuing. So you eventually the lieutenant comes walking up. You made a 23 history check. You can clearly tell now. I believe we discussed beforehand that the lieutenant here happens to be a battle commander, a BC, right? That's what we had said that Cadus happens to be for a rank. The person that comes walking up to you happens to be an LC, a lieutenant commander. No, sorry. He's an LC, a lieutenant commander. Person that comes walking up to you is a BC, a battle commander. Actually outranks Cadus. Comes walking up and says, "Oh, what?" Oh, sorry. Comes walking up and Cadus says, "Commander," and he says, "My apologies. I didn't expect anybody to be joining our ranks anytime soon. Please." Oh, sorry. I should change the voice. "My apologies. I didn't expect anybody to be joining our ranks anytime soon. Please identify yourself." "Commander, my name is Lieutenant Commander Cadus Medahina. I was in the region investigating a matter. It's a bit of a personal investigation, but as an extension of a matter that was put before me by the field commander of Azatishk. Interesting. And your investigation has brought you here." "Indeed, sir, it has. I believe that the matter that I have interest in might have a bit of fruit put before me if we were to go inside and investigate. Unfortunately, I do not think that that's going to be an option." "My apologies. You may not go inside." "Commander, if you don't mind my being so bold, why not?" "Because this happens to be under the discretion of the field commander of brain looking at names. The field commander of Chizodal happens to be here." "Oh." And my apologies, the other one was High Commander. She was High Commander of Zatishk. The field commander of Chizodal happens to be overseeing things here. She's inside and she's doing what she can to investigate the matter. Perhaps she would like to have an extra perspective. She does not. She does not need it. Again, if I may be so bold, Commander, these two that are with me happen to have a degree of mastery when it comes to alternative magics. It is potentially a boon for the field commander to have us lend assistance. And be that as it may, her orders were clean. Do not interrupt her. Were I to go and ask her opinion as to whether or not she thought they would lend assistance, that would be interrupting her. Don't you agree? Well, surely what she meant was for something frivolous. I agree. For something frivolous. Understood, Commander. I do apologize for interrupting you and wasting your time. We did travel just a bit of a long distance. Do you mind if we spend some time in the camp and maybe restock some of our supplies, replenish our rations, collect some water down by the river, and rest for a few hours before we trek? Unfortunately, you are not welcome to do so. Of course, you can grab water by the river, but I suggest you do so upstream. There are a good number of soldiers here and all. But I would actually appreciate it if you vacated the premises quickly. Understood. Thank you, sir. Good day. Safe travels. And may Lady Peredhel look over you. Likewise. Thank you, sir. Then he turns his horse and leaves. Two of you do so as well.
Yep.
Are you the first to speak, or do you wait?
I wait until we're out of earshot, which I assume isn't too far.
Of him or of all the soldiers?
The soldiers.
Okay. All the soldiers? And that's going to be like like a 10-minute ride because of how many soldiers are spaced out and whatnot. But that's fine. So it's like a silence 10 minutes. And finally, he's just slowly like riding through camp, like you're slowly walking out of camp. Once you're out of camp, go ahead.
Is he slowing down or is he still going? I'm assuming he's just going straight back. Cadus, a minute of your time if you don't mind.
Seems like all we have is time.
Yeah, I agree.
Time for people to waste. Yes.
Was that a shot at me? Cadus, does he seem upset?
Yes.
Daelric? Okay. Cadus, just because your commander said no doesn't mean we can't try.
I don't think you understand. He is not my commander. He just has rank over me and happens to be commanding the area. He is not my commander. I do not report to him. My commander gave me authorization to investigate the region. I have a few options here. One of them is to go all the way back to Zatishk. We have the river working in our favor this time. We could actually do so wouldn't take too terribly long for us to get there. Trek back would be a bit mighty. We can have her over-authorize and give me permission to come over here as well. However, she doesn't even serve the same Tarumbar, let alone the same prince as the commanders down here. The next option would be to head east instead and speak to the High Commander or go over their head to either the Prince or Tarumbar of the East and see if we can do that there. We've already heard interest that the Prince wants this being taken care of by those involved. Probably a bad idea. We know that the Tarumbar to the east happens to be a Zengal, which if you are correct, that means that we do not want to interact with them for this matter. And lastly, there's a High Commander, the lowest ranking of the three I suggested to the east. We don't know where their loyalties lie, so that is going to be a large question mark there. And then, of course, there is the other two options. One of them being continuing our search elsewhere, and the other being whatever ridiculousness you're about to suggest that goes against the code that I swore to follow.
Listen, we both know that your commander allowed you to come here, and your commander trumps that commander, correct?
Yes. That and his, yes.
And if we go to your commander and he were to allow us passage, how would he deliver that news? Would it be through parchment? Raven?
How would who deliver the news?
Your commander, how would he give you the authorization to trump his?
She. The High Commander would, I could go there, she could handwrite me a letter, and I can bring it back.
Would there be an official seal or some kind of mark?
I believe I know where you're going with this. The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
To the seal.
And could you, in great detail, possibly describe it to me so I can magically replicate it for 10 hours?
No.
You're going to cost us a lot of time. We both know you already have the authorization.
We both know I have the authorization, but it has not been written by her hand itself. Is this how you would do things in Malta? Would you just sign the Queen's seal?
There are things at stake here that could ruin both of our lives.
You told me as we started this that you did not fully believe in this matter. You were not completely convinced. You believed them, those that informed you, but you were not completely convinced. And here you are, suggesting that you would forge the Queen's seal because of rumors said by a couple of people and one encounter with a creature we can't explain?
Is he referring to Lopers or the experimentation?
Lopers.
As much as I agree with what you're saying, it's the other half of this puzzle that worries me more. The fact that there may be a super soldier recipe there that Peredhel will use to enslave my race.
Ah, not race nation.
Oh, both.
No, you're just human.
Well, yeah, the humans
Her-
aren't Perrin.
Well, depends. Depends on which parent you're referring to. So anyways,
By nation, sure.
yeah, nation, not race. But either way, so yeah, they he says, "You think I don't have those concerns as well? You think I don't feel it here as well? The guilt of the decision that I'm making right now? Of course I do. I know what the right thing to do here is, but I swore an oath."
If we're unsuccessful, that oath will be nothing.
I understand what you're trying to say. However, without risk, there is no reward.
Well, it's risk time or risk a piece of paper. Same reward.
If we are going to bend the ear of a Krengal in the future, don't you think you want the highest accolades carrying you to their doorstep? Certainly I can speak to a Krengal that happens to be lower rank than me. But I don't think you or I are interested in those ones, are we? Have you played the game Dominoes? You must meticulously place each piece, one at a time. You do it out of order. You're sloppy. You're not going to get the reward in the end. I should come up with a different name than Dominoes, and then steal the actual real-life game Dominoes, and then put it into this game and pretend like I created this game called, I don't know, Joey-O's.
Well, Cadus, Joyo's is a lot easier when you can change the numbers before you put them down.
It's true. It's also called cheating. And you have to live with that guilt as you walk away with some other man's coin. We head north,
Keep the
we
coin.
grab our dinghy, and then we head northwest. Besides, we've already discussed, they need time.
So does Ophelia say anything? She's just being quiet. She doesn't care. She's like, whatever. You guys
Ophelia thinks this
figure it
whole
out.
thing is stupid. She's like, ugh, please just kills them all.
It's very problematic. Ophelia, you've been fairly quiet. You seem frustrated as well. Do you want to voice your opinion here, or should we just write you off as mass murderer?
My opinion is very simple. We listen to what the big man says, make sure that he's happy, and then we solve the problem. If this is
Which
going to
big
be the
man are you?
best way, if this is going to be the best way for us to accomplish the task, then let's do it that way.
You want to do what he says?
As I told you from the beginning.
At least where I come from, things get done. But we'll
And
leave
where
it
you
there.
come from is disappearing.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, now
Which
I'm
person
really,
said
I
that?
feel very justified to be on your side.
I think it was,
person
I think it was
said that?
obviously Cadus.
Okay.
Very obviously, Gatus. You're an asshole.
As you guys are riding on again, that whole day, and like honestly now, because you finished the rest of the ride, if you guys pushed it today, you can get all the way back to the boat, right? Like a 2-hour push or whatever it is, maybe 3. You can get all the way back to the boat today. One point in time as you guys are traveling, because you're obviously not directly next to each other the whole time, Ophelia is actually going to find her way near to you. And when she does, she gets over to you and she'll kind of lean over and be like, hey, we're heading north and west again, right? Maybe there should be more problems on the hands of the Peredhel when we return. If they have a bit of a distraction, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Because if things go wrong next time, you and I can always slip in and find out what we can find out while Cadus is distracted, as well as the rest of them. We might not be able to convince him, but at least that way we have a failsafe.
You're saying when we get back to the ruins.
Correct. I was thinking maybe we tip off new friends of ours. You saw the way that he treated Cadus when we got to Cursefall. He didn't even let him in the city. Even after he let him in the city and said nice words about him, you can tell they were directed at Cadus as an individual, and not, certainly, not at the Peredhel as a whole.
So, you're suggesting that the knowledge that we're trying to destroy and hide, we should tell more people about so we can destroy and hide it better.
Not the knowledge inside the ruins. Tell them about the soldiers on the land.
Ah. As long as there's no way Cadus could find out.
I mean, we will be passing through a couple of towns on the way. I imagine we're going to have to stop here and there. Whisper the right words to the right people, and perhaps word travels all the way to their ears. I won't get there right away, but that's okay. We don't necessarily need them acting too soon.
I think you would be better at that.
Probably, but I think we should both try, just in case.
I was gonna say I could. Okay. Yeah, we'll both try.
That'll be the plan. Whenever we get into town, if we can split off, wonderful. If not, one will distract, the other one makes conversation, spreading the word. I imagine not a lot of people here are going to be happy about that. I'm sorry?
I said we have to be careful, but yeah, it should work.
But hopefully. Well, looks like we have a long travel. Well, why don't we, Elijah, why don't we take a quick break, and when we come back, we can go back to the other two PCs. Excuse me, what are you talking about over there? Nothing.
You said something about computers. I don't know.
How dare you? You're saying we should go on break? I did not give command for the break. Get him now. Quick. No, wait.